Hey guys, it's TBGP, and today I'm here to complain. About what, you may ask? Well, if you read the title of this video, you can clearly see what I'm out here complaining about. And let me just say, some of these complaints are quite justified. First of all, I want to say this isn't like a deep dive into Project Rene at all, because I don't really know much about the game at all, so I'm not going to talk about too much about it. I'm just going to say what I know, and that's not really the main point of this video. Also, they should be chapters or at least timestamps, because I don't know, I gotta figure out how the chapter system works on YouTube. Okay, leave me alone. With that much said, let's talk about Project Rene. So, Project Rene was announced in 2022, specifically on my birthday, October 18, 2022, which is hilarious. I actually live reacted to said announcement, and let's just say for the most part, I wasn't too excited at all. I thought it looked like a mobile game. It does look like a mobile game, and I don't care what anyone says. And from like the small amount of knowledge we know, it may be multi-platform, so it actually might be partially a mobile game. Besides what they announced at the Sim Summit last year, there's also showed some pictures of build and buy and some animations that they announced earlier this year. So, not that long ago, there was an article released from the Sims community where it was talking about how EA is making The Sims 5 free to play, which that's really freaking questionable. I want to say, first of all, I have nothing against free to play stuff, as I am broke and I prefer free to play than anything else. But when you hear a considerably AAA game become free to play, you need to have some questions. And oh boy, were those questions answered a little too fast. So the article is basically talking about how the information that they've seen so far is that free to play is gonna happen for The Sims 5, which to me is just, like I said, genuinely questionable. And which pushes this is that there was a job listing on Maxis that the article even puts in here. I'm not reading the entire article because that's not the point. That is not the point. Anyway, the job listing on here, one of the responsibilities that personally stick out to me, it sticks out like a sore thumb, is that one of the responsibilities, the main one that everyone is like all over the place about, is this one. Own Project Rene's in-game marketplace of content in UGC, free and paid, and manage a data-informed, player-centric player purchase journey, maximizing value to players, optimizing player spend patterns, and minimizing player churn. You can't say that's not a strange responsibility for this game, and it's questionable, but we'll get on to that. Let me read the second responsibility that makes the first one even worse, in my opinion. Own a pricing of all content in the free-to-enter game, ensuring we have an optimal pricing in content
architecture.
Provide guidance to content teams on in-game content needs to meet player demands. So, you see what I mean by these are just genuinely questionable. First, these articles are a good read if you want to look at them, because there's two, and I'm about to mention the second one in a second, but you should look at these. They will be in the link in the description so you can understand. And they were also comparing that a premium membership was also a concept for The Sims 4 that was scrapped before they released it. So, you can already see what's about to go down, and it's genuinely painful. So, the next article I'm here to talk about is The Sims 5 will seemingly adopt a Fortnite monetization model from IGN, which I don't usually look at IGN because I don't really like IGN. But in this case, I only looking at it because they're talking about the Sims community and how essentially it's gonna go off into the monetization issue. And they explain that it's going to be free to enter game. Basically, they're just rehashing a lot of stuff from the Sims community, but it's much shorter and quicker to the point instead of explaining, like everything about Project Rene, which I give the Sims community that they actually did a better job than freaking this company, but whatever, that's not the point either. So with these two articles, what's the point of me bringing them up? Or why am I talking about it? And why is it important in any way possible? Well, it's important because they are going to add microtransactions to The Sims 5, as well as a Roblox/Minecraft marketplace or IMVU marketplace type situation, which, oh no. What I mean by all of these is that, to anyone who doesn't understand, I'm sure a lot of you do understand, Roblox has a marketplace, and so does Minecraft IMVU, and apparently Second Life has one as well. And these are all set by player prices, basically custom content, but you gotta pay for it. And I don't know if it's gonna be in-game currency or real-life currency when it comes to The Sims, but all of these games have them, and a lot of the times you can purchase this stuff by in-game currency. And then there's the microtransactions like Fortnite, so you kind of get the gist of what that means. So think of like the Patreon early access, but now it's going to be 10 times worse, because I know people are going to see like, oh, I deserve more money for my work, and they're going to charge a heck of a lot of money for custom content. And a majority of the custom content creators who make CC for The Sims 4 and 3, that makes them like behind a paywall for like, I don't know, months on end, because people still be doing that even though EA told them not to, but whatever, that's their problem. They will be overcharging for items on there, which is going to make the game probably 10 times less fun. Sure, of course, there's going to be probably people who just make free items because they're lovely individuals, but there's going to be a lot of people who overcharge for like custom content and stuff like that. And it bothers me a lot, okay? It bothers me a lot. Before I get into my rant, let me mention something else real quickly. Kits. Sims 4 kits is what's conditioning people to accept the microtransaction situation. Like, literally, it is there to convince us to buy microtransactions. Like, oh, $5 isn't a lot of money, so I'm just gonna purchase these kits because it's not a lot of money, and they give you something. Even though the kits give you nothing. I don't care what anyone else says, and people who play The Sims 4 are kind of out of touch, in my opinion, because the fact that they released the $5 packs instead of stuff packs, they're conditioning you to buy microtransactions. That's the whole point. They're gonna start charging you for like, oh, you want these 3 cat bowls or something? That's $5, because that is microtransactions. And like I said, they're conditioning them into it. And mind me as I'm about to get into my rant mode, okay? Give me a second. Y'all who are buying kits are the problem. They, like I said, they put out kits to test the waters with microtransactions, and everyone being like, no, kits are fine, they're not that bad, people over complain and blah blah blah. You guys are legitimately the reason why they're gonna be comfortable enough to put in microtransactions. You keep buying these packs. No matter how much people boycott The Sims 4, they end up still buying all of the expansion packs in the freaking kits, and that is the problem. I see literally all of the time people being like, I bought the kits because I think they're cute. They're not cute enough to spend $5 like every other month to buy a freaking kit, or 3 kits. That's like $15. That is more than a stuff pack, and that is the problem. You guys are essentially purchasing microtransactions, and when I say you guys, I literally mean anyone who plays The Sims 4 and buys the expansion packs and everything else, because they've cut up all the expansion packs into literally 4, is it now 5? No, I think it's 5 different things. Or is it 4? No, I think it's 4. Leave me alone, I can't do math, okay? It's 4 different things. They have expansion packs, they have game packs, they have stuff packs, and kits. Stuff packs just simply don't exist anymore, by the way. They completely cut them loose and was like, oop, kits makes us more money, so like frick stuff packs. Even though stuff packs have been with The Sims since, I believe, The Sims 2, if I'm correct. I don't know if it was in The Sims 1, I don't think so. But they've literally been there basically for a really long time, only for them to cut them loose and add kits, which are just glorified microtransactions. And before anyone's like, but no, it's not it is the consumer's fault. You guys are okay with buying all these goddamn expansion packs, and now The Sims is gonna continue to be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna keep shilling out poorly made, by the way, expansion packs and now microtransactions. We may not even be getting like actual full-on expansion packs for The Sims 5. Not to mention The Sims 5 at the moment is looking pretty bad. So far, they're only showing building and building and building and building. Yes, they showed off some animations, but literally, what is that? Basic stuff to show that, oh yes, we are developing the game. Yes, I know there's years to come for the game's development, but the way that The Sims 4 is, I have legitimately little to no hope for The Sims 5. Not to mention making it free to play gives me genuine pain. They're going to release that most bare bones garbage ever and then be like, yeah guys, guess what? It works just fine. And it's not going to probably work as well, because at this point, a majority of basically anything related to Sims is just bad. Look at the freaking horse expansion pack. It's really bad. I don't care what anyone else says. They're like, well, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay, but compared to everything else, they're releasing that garbage for $40 when you only get horses. What? Why? That's so dumb. They did it with cats and dogs, and they did it with everything else. And then you people keep buying it. This is why we're getting microtransactions. This is why they're going to have a marketplace where people are going to overcharge you for custom content. People cannot grasp the fact that when you don't buy from a company, they do lose income and profit. So they do have to rethink their decisions. But at this point in time, no one really cares. They just want The Sims 4 to keep, shilling out garbage so they can play it. Even though The Sims 4 is boring, even though it's broken and literally every 5 seconds the game don't freaking work, people still buy the expansion packs for it. And the expansion packs keep getting worse and worse. Like, literally tell me an expansion pack for The Sims 4 that wasn't in its, no, even in the early days, they're pretty bad. Like, Outdoor Retreat, that was a game pack, but it was bad. I don't care what anyone else says. Why is that a game pack? I have not seen anyone play with Outdoor Retreat in years. And people can argue, being like, oh, Get to Work was there. Oh, yeah, but I'm sorry to say, the base game of The Sims 3 was better than Get to Work. They still had way more jobs than Get to Work. You could be a scientist in the base game. You could be... In The Sims 2, you could be a scientist and a doctor in the base game. Not to mention, police. What is the point of police in The Sims 4? There's not even any crime ever going on. So what is the point? Even in The Sims 3, if there was not much crime, we still had robbers, burglars. So being a police made sense. And no, I'm not trying to go off into a tangent just complaining about The Sims 4, because I could do that for hours. But my point being, you get garbage for garbage, essentially. You spend $40 and then you get trash. That's legitimately what The Sims does. And now with these microtransactions, they have a bigger opportunity saying, guess what? It's only $2.99 to get this 3-pack of baby hair. So you want your baby to not be freaking bald? Buy this baby hair. That's gonna be the stuff that they're gonna start doing. And then people are still gonna eat it up and buy it. And even though they're I don't want The Sims 5, they're still gonna freaking play it. I'm still gonna play it. I don't really care. I actually would want The Sims 5 more than The Sims 4, but I'm still gonna try to look at The Sims 5. And if it's bad, I'm just not gonna play it. I'm gonna keep going with The Sims 3. It's just that simple. And also, compared to these other games that are currently releasing, like Paralyzed and Life by You, they've already showed 10 times more dedication to the game than Max's have to The Sims 5. Sorry, it's true. You look at Life by You, there's so much going on. And these people are oh yeah, we'll fix it. They recently released a video about the gameplay, basically a Let's Play type episode with Rod Humble. And he was actually playing the game, he was saying oh, certain bugs, they will be fixed before they're released. And that's already just oh, wow. When I've heard in some of the streams, the Sims team just completely ignored the glitches and just tried not to talk about it, even though they end up releasing that in the finished product, which is just... ugh. But anyway, I went too far into my rant. I talked about more than I was supposed to. But just heed my word. People who buy kits and who are okay with kits are part of the problem. The Sims 4 shillers are part of the problem. And the reason we're going to get this lackluster copycat Second Life IMVU Roblox type marketplace situation is because people are okay with shelling out money to buy stuff like kits. They were literally testing you people and you passed the test, and that's not a good thing. So now we're gonna get microtransactions and all this other garbage. Not to mention, this is just another little tangent. They have not talked much about Project Rene. They've only ever showed build and buy mode and anything. We have literally not seen anything about this game, and so far graphics wise, the stuff looks okay. It looks kind of like custom content, but it's not bad. When it comes to The Sims, if they look anything like The Sims 4, I'm about to abandon ship and be nah, frick that game, because I hate the way The Sims look at The Sims 4. They are the most janky looking things ever. But this isn't the time or place to talk about this. I will maybe make a Sims 4 video again talking about The Sims 4 and my genuine complaints with it, but you're gonna have to wait until I decide that it's a good time to do that. And I plan on talking about the other life simulators coming out, because I actually have genuine hope. It might be unpopular, but I believe in these games, and if I had the money, I would indeed donate to stuff like Paralyzed, because I want this game to exist. And Life by You is looking pretty good. I don't care what anyone else says. I think the game looks very, very promising, and it might be extremely fun to play from what I've seen. So frick that trash, and frick The Sims 4. Also, frick The Sims 5 at the moment, because if they actually do microtransactions, adios, sayonara. I can't. I'm not living like that. So, anyway, I know this ended up as a tangent at the ending, but hear me out. I'm not dealing with this garbage. People need to speak out more about it. I heard people complaining, but they don't complain enough. And don't look at Twitter, because people are oh, I'm so excited, and they're covering it up by The Sims horse ranch trash, which is garbage. And someone said in my stream, they don't even got unicorns. They're just horses with dunce caps. Frick that trash. So anyway, tell me your opinions in the comments, okay? Do you have an opinion on The Sims 5? Do you care about the monetization? Literally tell me, because I am so curious if anyone is actually complaining about the fact that we might be getting microtransaction, and us broke simmers, or us frugal simmers, or our simmers who just don't want to spend money on this freaking game are getting shafted over here because we're not going to get any content because we just don't want to spend money. And especially like in America, which I'm going to say America is probably one of their largest like amount of people who actually play The Sims. Y'all are doing this when we're like in a recession or something, like close to being or in a recession. That's crazy. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This is TBGP. I will see you lot next time. And bye-bye.